On the floor of the newsroom, the tension is thicker than ever. All the operators are artists. Producer, reporter, meteorologist, technician, engineer, social media manager. A news anchor turns on their chair, smiling, pages in hand, and speaks, firm and decisive.
Life has changed, and IMT has changed with it.
A news bar scrolls across the screen, collectively finding solutions for and beyond the art world. The anchor continues, shimmering in front of an empty green screen.
We are concerned about the larger context of what we have done and what we do, of decolonising and of LGBTQI+ infrastructures. For bodies must change systems rather than bending to them. Eco-disaster, extra statecraft, which is the grey area between corporate and governmental agendas, need to be addressed. Walter?
Walter is the Sphinx cat and the station's favoured reporter.
We found that we are looking at a global stage here, both in terms of visibility and accessibility. Visibility and accessibility online and offline. Multiple interfaces enables wide access as long as there is no perceived hierarchy here. We favour the horizontal, and likewise a horizontal exchange between artists at different stages of their careers or in different roles. The success in collaboration is in nobody getting what they want. We favour an intergenerational approach to exhibition making, but we must be wary. These may be global issues, but we are local bodies.
Walter leaps onto a radiator and stretches out horizontally like grey putty.
Thanks, Walter. Walter is a cat, dear viewers. The radiator is warm, and his body is warm, but he is not the radiator. Walter gnaws at the claws on his paws. Over to our meteorologist.
Thanks, pal. We are looking at constructing a sustainable infrastructure that proposes exhibition making across online and offline platforms. Our readings show an incoming alternative exhibitionary complex, although you'll have seen signs of this here before. This is best described as architectural constellation, scaffolding as opposed to containing, and it scaffolds various diverse approaches to enable the complexity of the collective. It houses without constraining, virally interlope across all platforms. It maintains that we position all materials as art, a logo, a social media post, a door handle, an expanded notion of art and where it belongs, addressing norms and hijacking previously assumed non-art platforms.
The newsroom folds into itself, like a paper fortune teller made in Blender, like a kaleidoscope, like a player character glitching in a broken video game, a point of regeneration.
Out of the folds come orb. Orb holds in a tentacle-like structure a fragment from the old logo, the I from IMT. Orb holds in a mouth-like cavity a sigil, two shapes that speak. The orb makes it easy. IMT is a critical fictional hybrid that speaks in one voice, a third that walks between them. In the background, paper coils out of a printer like a scroll.
Our correspondent, live from Warsaw, memories like old plans, words like text, alternative sustainable models, not for profit, not completely reliant on funding, a template, a project. These are pleasing structures to me.
SIGIL calls out in abstract diagrams of desire. The printer prints out these images. They come out through 2 wooden rolling pins, pressed together to the sound of a fly buzzing in a jar. It prints in all caps, shouting over the noise of traffic and drills. Below the images, footnotes appear.
Printer. 1. Key aims: helping emerging artists and art forms to survive, plus supporting nascent and marginal voices, plus diversifying the income portfolio, plus give audiences access to critical contemporary art. 2. Methods. IMT is a means of telling stories and needs to be sustained in that way. Actively supporting artists' careers to generate new opportunities, e.g. setting prices with the trajectory of people in mind as opposed to profit. 3. Ultimate goal: to save the ecosystem of the art world by creating a model that can be replicated. To become octopus as producers, makers and viewers of art. Disguise ourselves amongst the coral and grow tentacles.
The camera pans back out of the scene that becomes an illustration in a book in the hands of a shapeshifter. Possibly a spell book, a cookbook, or an almanac. Every time the body of the shapeshifter changes, the room around her changes as well in response, rippling outwards like the skin of an octopus. There is a glitch, and the image freezes, showing that the book is a background image and the illustration and text are a layer. It is clear many of the pages are still blank. Around the illustration is a list, the words shimmering like they're not ready to be fixed.
Becoming IMT. Support emerging artists and nascent voices, and diversify the income portfolio. Becoming commercial. Adopting commercial practices where it can be shown to explicitly benefit artists, whether financially or through developing a trajectory. Becoming pedagogic. Adopting pedagogic practices as an arm that provides practical and professional development, with an emphasis on that which students often don't need university with at degree level. Becoming black hole. There are different times and spaces to that of the human, different senses and interpretations of the world, to risk plummeting into the depths of a different logic system. Becoming nomad. We have a world full of elite corporate governmental powers, and we aim to produce a gallery as antidote. Actors on the ground are disappearing, and where will the diverse cultural perspectives come from?